Hello, America. Yeah, I've been quiet for a few days. Been watching the news as I work. Trying to get things done. A lot more warehouses catching on fire. A lot more people getting frustrated. Man, and I truly understand it. I'm frustrated too. I mean, hell, I worked in some of those warehouses. Amazon, right there in Hebron. I saw the humanitarian issues when people like Jeff Bezos mockingly say, I wouldn't work for myself. I'm too much of an asshole. That's exactly what came out during my entrance meeting into that company. So it is no surprise here, nearly 10 years later, Amazon's finally unionizing. So that's a step in the right direction. More people need to do that. They've been union busting us for a long time. And even my dad worked union. He sat out there on those picket lines. He did his strikes. He fought to make sure we could have a stable life as best he could provide. And now it's our generation's turn. So this is what I've been doing. Because, like, seeing with the gas prices and everything else, it's all going. So I've been out here building a fence for Rocky to do away with a lot of that in my life. I'm not going to support these oil oligarchs. I'd rather ride Rocky down the road to McDonald's, if that comes to be. I'd rather ride Rocky out there on the trails and enjoy some of this life. See, I had my daughter on a horse by the time she was 7. That was one of the big things I did when I got out of the Army, was make sure to take her out on a ride. Because that's bonding. That's what you're supposed to do as a parent. Get to know your kids. Spend time with them. Actually know a little bit about them and their passions. Man. Yeah, it's a little wobbly today. I'm walking. But homesteaders have been fighting this fight for a long time, so have farmers. We've seen a lot of the scandalous crap that's been going on. We've been getting ignored. Because, hey, it doesn't affect people in the city, right? Guess what? It does. All these family farms that's been getting driven out, that's the reason for your high prices. All this land that's been stolen and given to corporations for their greed and their power, that's your politicians at play. They get bribes for every bit of that. And it's sickening. Absolutely sickening. Because right there goes your American freedoms. That's your price of goods. That's your price of transportation. That's your inflation right there. Because good people, farmers, and homesteaders have been getting driven out. So yeah, it pisses me off to no end. And it ain't just here in this country. Look over to Ireland. Look at the response they did just a week ago. The farmers and the truckers. But it takes more than them. It takes all of us, America. It takes us standing up together and saying enough is enough. That's why I'm running. Because I've had enough. When you put my kids on the crosshairs of your agenda, when you have it set to where my son can walk down the street as a peaceful civilian born in this country, and he has to live under the threat just because of his skin color of your agenda? Yeah, you see a different side of me. You see a side of me that's ready to stand up. I am not a politician. I am not by any means. What I am is a damn American who loves this country so much I fought for it. So much so I went over to that desert 3 damn times and watched as my brothers and sisters got torn to pieces. So yes, I am an American, and I love this country, and I love everybody in it, and they're worth fighting for. But most definitely, my kids are worth fighting for. Your kids are worth fighting for. So I don't give a crap if I make that chair or not. What I want to see is you up there, taking a stand, fighting for your kids, your family, your grandparents, your parents, whoever the case may be, that you love. Because damn, I'm fighting with love in my heart. And this fight ain't going to be settled with destruction. Burning down warehouses may seem nice, may feel good in the moment, but we're shooting ourselves in the foot. Because that's going to be more inflation on us, not them. They're going to force us to pay not just the cost of the replacement, but extend it beyond so they can make a little bit of money off the loss also. They will never truly hear us until we take a stand fully. Just look at that situation with healthcare CEO that got shot a few years ago. All because of a policy to make them more money. The same policy those stakeholders push through anyways, despite the death of their own. They don't care. They lost their heart a long time ago in that climb for the rung. They don't give a crap about America or their American way of life. That is pretty clear. You want to look for enemies? That's your enemy. And I don't deal in absolutes, but it's a good majority of them doing the damage right now. So no, for these politicians that are trying to pretend to be American, sitting on a horse like I plan on doing, actually ride it some. Show me that you could actually do more than put a little bit of hay in front of a horse and sit on it. You ain't American. You're a pretender. A chameleon. Trying to protect your own assets. That's it. You know I ain't saying names, but I got one in mind. He's been popping up a lot in his mouth. Yeah, he's nothing more than another oligarch trying to save his own ass. So, till I get out there, get back to going on this walk, I'll still continue to do videos. I love you, America. And I'm fighting to get to you. You're worth fighting for. Love you.